real quick. Okay. It was very hard to catch something from you. You did say something and then you corrected it really fast. You said I saying and then you said I'm saying when you were talking about something that you were saying to someone. You can also say I'm telling them or I told them because you were talking about in the past at the time. So actually, because you were talking about something in the past, it'd be better to say I told them. And you said you need to show off or show off about yourself a little. So showing off is actually a very common thing to say. However, when you're saying like show off about yourself a little, that's why I was recommending to say take pride in your work. To take pride in your work, that's something that usually we say to show that we are, you show off a little bit, but you also are very hardworking. You take pride in your work. You're very prideful about how hard you work. So, and then you were talking about your boss from New York, right? Mm-hmm. You met her in New York. So you said you call her at the time. So you said call instead of called for past. So called her at the time, and a lot of times we say at the time. You can also say something like back then. So back then is another way of saying like before. Yeah, back then. I called her back then to let her know. That's actually a little bit more better to say back then. Ted, you said stagey instead of stage. Oh no, you were talking about a stage that you were standing on or something. So, huh? Yeah. So if you say stage, not stagey. Platform is fine, but in that kind of setting, I think stage is better. So just stage. And you said I and my friend. Actually, I think you say this a little bit often. You say I and my friend, and the correct way is my friend and I. Actually, I and my friend is okay to say, but my friend and I is the correct way to say. And then you said what else info, which is not correct. What else info should be some other info or what other info, or if there's anything else. And then you said many informations about this guy, much information about this guy. Yeah, much information, or a lot of information about this guy. Jennifer, you said my available value, which I understand what you were saying, but just say my value. Yeah, my value. And I always talk about this. You said take a rest on weekends, and here in Korea, a lot of people say take a rest more often than necessary. Get some rest is actually more better to say. Is better to say. You said your family was telling you you have to reduce your work. It's actually better to say reduce your workflow or cut down on working. And you were talking about you on the weekend you had to when you were meeting with the other musicians that you just prepare the guitar things, but things is actually not necessary to say, so let's change it to saying instead of saying just prepare the guitar things, preparing to play guitar. And you said if I have a good items. If I have a good items. Well, don't need to say it. So it's if I have good items or good things. Yeah, we can do it like that. Okay. Honggu, you said I have a few informations. Informations is a word that you never really add S to. So,
Countable?
huh?
Non-countable?
Yeah, because it's non-countable. So I have some information instead of a few informations. I have some information is actually the correct way to say it. And you said about 500 times more salary, which more salary is okay, but the correct way is about 500 times higher salary. So 500 times higher salary. Higher salary. No, actually, let's change it. A higher salary, about 500 times more. Yeah.
Okay.
And you said, if I have the employees, I should motivate them. I think the easier way to say it would be, it didn't sound, I guess, that easy to hear. So I would say something like, if I had employees, I need to motivate them instead of I should motivate them. Yeah, I need to motivate them. So you said, I'm agree with your opinion. I actually don't need to say I'm like I am, just I agree with your opinion. Then you said if you have no money, you can't go to travel. You don't need to say to, just you can't travel. You said, your pronunciation of changed should be, you said change it. I think a lot of people do this. They say like they add the ed sound, ed, but it's just changed. Yeah, changed. And then you said me and my friend. The correct way is my friend and I. But people say in English all the time. It's not correct, but we always get corrected on it. So even in the U.S., if someone says, "Oh, me and my friend went," and then someone else will say, "My friend and I." It always happens that way. I don't know why. We say it, and then we always correct somebody. So I just, yeah, my friend and I, my friend and I. And last, you said you were complaining about you don't have enough food to eat, choices to eat around from work, right? And you said I want to eat different menus, which I understand you were saying you wanted to try different types of food. So it's actually when you say different menus, it like it just sounds like different restaurants, but it's actually more natural, better to say I want to eat different foods, or I want to try different different styles of foods, different meals. Yeah, and that's it. Any questions about anything? No?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.